From Shearer to Salah, Champions League winners and record goal scorers, there's plenty of footballers who also love life on two wheels. We thought that we'd have our very own go at football shit chat and create our very own fancy team. The one rule, they have to also ride a bike. Here's our very own footballers who cycle 11. Just don't ask our striker to appear on any BBC highlights shows. I mean, was it really going to ever be anyone other than the cycling goalkeeper himself? With 8 caps for England and nearly 500 appearances across 2 decades with Manchester United, Watford, Birmingham City and West Bromwich Albion, Foster ticks the safe pair of hands box. More importantly, with more than 1.2 million subscribers on his YouTube channel, The Cycling Goalkeeper, where he regularly documents his Zwift exploits and life on a pretty tasty Specialized S-Works Diverge, Foster has clearly caught the cycling bug. Oh, and back in March last year, he joined us for a Drink at Your Desk live talk to tell us all about it. Sharing a snap of that beauty was always going to go down well with us. With bike taste like that, he's made the team, but his saddle angle is still a little questionable. Virgil van Dijk gets the nod to lead the back line. Strong, dominant in the air, with the characteristic Dutch proficiency for playing out from the back. In another life, we imagine Virgil shepherding his GC leader to the front of the bunch, taking no nonsense and never missing the front echelon. With 9 domestic honours, including 2 La Liga crowns at Real Madrid, plus a World Cup win, Ballon d'Or, and World Cup player of the tournament versus a midfielder from Bristol City, Fabio, you're in. Over on Strava, you'll find regular training rides around the hills of Napoli and the occasional trip to Richmond Park. Okay, so if it wasn't obvious already, Dan from News, who is the main man responsible for a lot of this monstrosity of the team, is a Fulham fan. Like Gareth Southgate, we're shoehorning as many right backs into this defence as inhumanly possible. But Volt's, scorer of the Premier League's 15,000th goal, prompting many 15,000 Volts headlines across the back pages, is probably one of the more deserving entrants into our squad. During his time in southwest London, the German regularly rocked up to training and matches at Craven Cottage on his folding bike. Jimmy Bullard calling his teammate a proper weirdo during an interview with The Guardian. As the song goes, Mo Salah, Mo Salah, Mo Salah, pedalling down the right wing, or something like that anyway. The Egyptian king earns a spot in our 11 thanks to this lockdown tweet which painfully predictably sent the cycling world into meltdown over the hood angle. Just enjoy the fact that one of the world's most famous athletes is actually riding a bike. Former Crystal Palace, Wolves and England midfielder Jeff Thomas's cycling exploits are quite simply legendary. Having recovered from leukemia, Thomas won BBC Sports Personality of the Year's Helen Rollason Award in 2005, having raised £150,000 for leukemia research by riding the entire Tour de France route just a few days ahead of the actual race. If that wasn't enough, he's done it multiple times since, and in 2017 rode all 3 Grand Tours, racking up more than 10,000 kilometres. In 2021, he was awarded an MBE for his charity work, and his Tour 21 event raised £800,000 by the time fundraising riders reached Paris. That is captain material. You didn't think we'd include all of these people and not Remco, did you? As you're probably all too aware by now, the newly crowned world champion started his sporting journey on the football pitch, playing for local club RSC Anderlecht before moving across the border to PSV Eindhoven. A defensive midfielder who could also play left back, Remco was apparently a pretty tidy passer, with a good left foot and a strong set-piece delivery. His stamina moving him into the middle of the park from his early days as a goalkeeper. Anyway, Remco fell out of love with kicking a ball and took up cycling in his teens. One monument, a rainbow jersey and a Vuelta a España later, I think we're all pretty happy that he did. Yeah, we know he played on the right and loved cutting in, but we can't have 2 right wingers. Iron lad, just beat your man and stick it in the box. Speaking to the Daily Mail in 2004 whilst at Chelsea, Robin responded to a quizzical question about him cycling to training. Why not? The new complex is very close to where I lived with my girlfriend, and if the weather is nice, I can go by bike again. Robin said when he started playing first team football, he didn't actually have a driving licence. He had to go by bike. So he used to cycle 10 kilometres each way to school every day. And he used to cycle for training as well. Robin scored 37 goals in 96 caps for, yeah, you guessed it, the Netherlands, playing the full match as his nation lost to Spain in the 2010 World Cup final. Getting on the end of Robin's crosses will be the Big Al, the Premier League's all-time record scorer and proud member of the N+1 club. Up top alongside Shearer is another famous England name from the 90s and 2000s heartbreak era, Michael Owen. The man who made live blog headlines after taking a dive when he forgot to unclip as he returned home from a ride. Come on, ref, that's got to be a yellow. Of course, every top team needs a great manager, but how about this for a double act? Scarf-wearing Italian charmer Roberto Mancini alongside Football League's finest fisherman Neil Warnock. Mancini, the Premier League winning manager who arrived at Man City's training ground aboard his £2,500 road bike and cites Francesco Moser and Marco Pantani as his heroes. Warnock, meanwhile, the journeyman promotion specialist, who takes his riding at a more leisurely pace. We feel like these two should be snapped up for the Neil and Roberto's Italian adventure by one of the more obscure ITV channels or something, and spend the summer jaunting around the Italian countryside by bike, wine tasting and reminiscing about the good old days. If by any chance this culture-crossing duo doesn't work out, then there's always a fella waiting in the wings to shake things up. So that's our 11, but who have we missed out? Get your suggestions down in the comment section below. Just don't mention Kevin Keegan, please. As always, if you enjoyed this content, then give us a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. We'll see you next time.